Hey everybody, Craig Deluz here in FPC headquarters. Wanted to let you know that today FPC has released our 2016 legislative report card. Now, different groups do their legislative report cards in different ways, and this is kind of our way of grading legislators and on how they voted on guns that are affecting our civil rights, specifically our Second Amendment civil rights. Now, some groups pick out just a handful of bills and that maybe make it to the floor, and that's what they grade on. We actually look at every single key vote that members make, whether it's in a committee or whether it's on the floor of the legislature. We also take a look at what bills they've authored and what bills they've co-authored. So some members are going to have more opportunities to get it right or wrong, and some members are going to have fewer opportunities to get it right or wrong. So, but we want to make sure that people know, so people know exactly where members are and what they're doing when it comes to all of the bills affecting our constitutional right to keep and bear arms. So you'll notice some very interesting things in this year's particular report card, and I'll let you know about a few of them. First of all, what we did with members who got an A+. Now, the only way in which a member can get an A+ is by actually authoring or co-authoring a pro-gun bill. Now, that's kind of the minimum. In other words, you don't get an A+ unless you've done that. And by the way, you also have to have a stellar voting record on Second Amendment bills. So, what we've done with those who got an A+, they have been awarded the term or the label of Defenders of Liberty. Now, sadly, no members of the California State Senate are being named Defenders of Liberty because no pro-gun bills were introduced in the California State Senate. So it doesn't mean there weren't a lot of good votes, a lot of pro-gun votes, but no Defenders of Liberty. Those who are being honored as Defenders of Liberty include Assembly members Chad Mays, Travis Allen, Rocky Chavez, Shannon Grove, Jay Obernolte, Devin Mathis, James Gallagher, and Melissa Melendez. One of them I wanted to make sure to point out especially was Melissa Melendez. Now, she serves on the Assembly Public Safety Committee, which meant she voted on more gun bills than probably her and Assemblyman Lackey probably voted on more gun bills than any other members in the legislature. And what this says is she had a stellar voting record. So we want to make sure to point that out to you guys. Also wanted to note that there were only 2 members of the entire California legislature who won Defenders of Liberty for both 2016 and 2015. Those are Assemblyman James Gallagher and Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez. Now, here's another one, and this one may be kind of a surprise to you. There are actually some Democrats who do in fact support the Second Amendment. If you look at it, you'll notice that Assemblyman Jim Frazier and Senator Richard Roth both earned A's. So in other words, they had a really good score when it came to how they voted on gun rights. And then we also had Assemblyman Adam Gray and Assemblyman Rudy Salas Jr., who both earned A-. So not perfect, but darn good when it comes to gun rights. Now, what you'll also notice is that not all Republicans necessarily support the Second Amendment. If you look at the report card, Assemblywoman Catherine Baker received an F-, and Assemblywoman Ling Ling Chang got a D-, and Assemblyman David Hadley earned a D+. Now, most of the reason why they got the grades that they did, if you voted for any of the gunpocalypse bills, because we felt that these bills were exceptionally bad. I mean, these were basically bills that literally resulted in the taking away of specific rights and or gun bans. If you voted for those, you automatically were knocked into a lower section. So that's one thing that we wanted to make sure to note for you guys was that probably a lot of these folks voted for one or more of the gunpocalypse bills. Now, I also wanted to note that we also have this rating that is even below an F-. Yes, there's something below an F-, and that is a rating of tyrant, meaning that their voting record was so bad. I mean, we're talking horrendously bad. We're talking at every turn they sought to violate your rights. They were labeled tyrants. So we wanted to make sure you guys knew that. And largely the way folks got that was by either voting for over and over again, or by authoring or co-authoring one or more of the gunpocalypse measures. Now, also wanted to note that there were some significant changes from 2015 to 2016. Assemblyman Rudy Salas Jr., he had a D- in 2015, but actually went up to an A- in 2016. On the other hand, Assemblywoman Ling Ling Chang, who had an A in 2015, dropped to a D-. Once again, that's largely because she voted for one or more gunpocalypse bills. Assemblyman Eric Linder actually improved his grade from a C+ to an A, as did Senator Patricia Bates, and then Senator Jim Nielsen improved his grade from a B- to an A. Now, you'll also notice in these grades, there's not a whole lot of middle ground. With the exception of a couple of Ds, most folks either wound up as an A, as an A, as a F, or as a tyrant. So what that's telling you is this, is that the money that Bloomberg is investing in California is seeking to try and take out a lot of those moderates, in particular moderate Democrats, for whom they might be willing to listen on Second Amendment issues. He's working on taking them out and replacing them with anti-gun legislators, with folks who do not believe that you have a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. So I want you to, in order to kind of read this and look at it all for yourself, you can go to firearmspolicy.org/grades/CA 2016. And we'll make sure when we're done with this that we'll make sure to put the URL there in the video for you, so you can go ahead and just do a direct link. Take a look at it and just find out where your member is at. Find out what grade your member has. And then when November 8th comes around, make sure to vote accordingly. Once again, this is Craig Deluz in FPC headquarters, reminding you that this is a fight for civil rights. Use them or lose them.
If you like these updates, please share them with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel.